All right, y'all, we are back with another video. And before we start, please put prayers for Donald Trump in the comment section. We must protect President Trump at all times. And it brings us to this video right here where Mark Zuckerberg then pretty much exposed Joe Biden. But at the same time, I don't trust Mark Zuckerberg because, I mean, he was helping Joe Biden them out all of this time. If you look at it, like Benny got it, Mark Zuckerberg ditches Democrats, shocking letter exposes Biden dark plan to rig the election. So pretty much Kamala Harris and Joe Biden trying to rig the election, and Mark Zuckerberg had everything to do with this. Now all of a sudden now he wants to come out and expose Joe Biden them. Pretty much seems like he's trying to save his own butt. But at the same time, I still don't trust Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, to be trying to help Joe Biden no matter all of this time, censoring folks and all type of stuff. So we about to get down to it. Make sure y'all please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. That way you can stay up to date with everything that's going on. Without further ado, let's dive straight into this so Benny can show us the clips of what's going on, y'all. Let's go.
Boy, Benny, man, this story is going to be a tough one for me. I'm a Christian. I believe in redemption. However, will people pay the price for their evil deeds? This is all bundled up together in the breaking news that is ping pong balling across the internet. Everybody is talking about Mark Zuckerberg releasing a letter saying, yeah, we did it. We did it. We censored Hunter Biden laptop information. We censored true information. We censored memes. We censored jokes. We censored stuff that shouldn't have been censored on Facebook. We did so because the Biden administration put the boot on the back of our necks.
Wow.
And we're sorry. I regret it, is what Mark Zuckerberg has recently said. Now, I thought Mark Zuckerberg was going to make a shift like this. And the reason why was because, well, we have millions of followers on Facebook. We have millions of followers on Instagram. We're closely connected with some of the people who work inside of these social media platforms. And they tell me that Mark Zuckerberg is not woke. They tell me Mark Zuckerberg actually is far more of a free speech advocate than his platforms would suggest. And the reason why he does these things is because of external pressure and also pressure from his board, from like left-wing libs on his board who want to be like beloved in Silicon Valley and want to help out the regime. And then Mark Zuckerberg's finally had a belly full of it, right? He's done with the censorship and part of the indication that what I was hearing from inside of Facebook and inside of Meta is true was clips like this. Here's Mark Zuckerberg saying there's nothing more badass than Donald Trump. Oh, well, dude, you did kick him off your platforms. This seems like a change of heart.
I mean, on a personal note, it's, seeing Donald Trump get up after getting shot in the face and pump his fist in the air with the American flag is one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life.
It is, and it's true. And it's actually brave to say that, and it's brave to do what Mark Zuckerberg just did, which was to release this letter. So here's what he said. He said that he wrongly censored, at the behest of the Joe Biden regime, COVID-19 content, humor, and satire, and expressed a lot of frustration with our teams when we didn't agree that Biden White House did, right? He also demoted stories about Hunter Biden's laptop and that it was wrong to do this. This is a sea change, and I think this is a very, very good thing. And there's a bunch of people that are like, well, okay, what's the reconciliation for this, right? So you ruined people's careers, you destroyed people's pages, you limited their free speech, you rigged an election. You can say you rigged an election because if everybody had known about Hunter Biden laptop story, would Joe Biden be president? I'm not exactly certain. There's a lot of evil misdeeds in there. If people have been able to have honest conversations, where would that story have gone? Well, I'm not sure we really know, and we never will know. But at least people are apologizing now. And you know what? Like, what's the right way to say this? We have millions of subscribers on these platforms, and I don't want to abandon them. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that really like Facebook and a lot of people that really like Instagram. They're going to use those platforms forever. And so I don't want to abandon them. And our page, of course, gets hit with all these ridiculous fact checks and gets, I'm sure our page gets demoted like crazy. And it sucks on these platforms. And I, again, don't want to, I don't retreat. I'm not a man for retreating. I'm a man for offense. I'm a fighter. I don't want to go in and say, well, I give up, right? Because these platforms are unfair. So I want to give these platforms an opportunity. These platforms are not that old, right? And Mark Zuckerberg is still relatively young. and to give them an opportunity to mature and to become more like Elon Musk when it comes to a social media platform, right? And free speech. So here, ladies and gentlemen, is the letter that Mark Zuckerberg sent. And this letter effectively says, I feel strongly that we should not compromise our content standards due to pressure from any administration in either direction, and we're ready to push back if something like this ever happens again. It's a really, really important thing. This is a very valuable moment.
Man.
As free speech is contagious, freedom is courageous, and Elon Musk setting the landscape of social media platforms in America, setting it correctly and saying, we're going to be free speech first platforms. This changed everything. This is what I've been told from inside of Silicon Valley at multiple people who work inside of these organizations. That Elon Musk changed everything, and that Mark Zuckerberg is more aligned with the free speech wing and the constitutional legal speech wing of the movement. And that's why he started Facebook in the first place, right? So good. And now he and his Mark Zuckerberg and his wife gave nearly $500 million to nonprofit that aided the administration infrastructure of the 2020 election and heavily favored Democrat counties.
That's
so
crazy.
What's that about? I mean, there's no other way to say it. Mark Zuckerberg did donate to Democrats. But Mark Zuckerberg says he's going to stay out of politics now. So it's worth taking the culture war W here. Let's not be like so ideologically purist that we can't see the win in this. Stunning letter to Congress, Zuckerberg admits Biden-Harris pressured Facebook to censor content. Donald Trump on Truth Social saying Zuckerberg admits the White House pushed to suppress Hunter Biden laptop story and much more. In other words, the 2020 presidential election was rigged.
Man.
What everyone has been waiting for, the 2020 presidential election was rigged, says President Trump on Truth Social. Apparently, Mark Zuckerberg called President Trump and apologized to him. Listen to this.
Zuckerberg called me. First of all, he called me a few times. He called me after the event, and he said that was really amazing. It was very brave. And, and he actually announced he's not going to support a Democrat because he respected me for what I did that day. I think what I did maybe was to me, it was a normal response. But I was called by Mark Zuckerberg yesterday, the day before, on this same subject, and he actually apologized. He said they made a mistake, et cetera, and they're correcting the mistake. Google, nobody called from Google.
So we got a statement at Fox Business from Google. They said this fact check was initially applied to a doctored photo showing the Secret Service agents smiling. And in some cases, our systems incorrectly applied that fact check to the real photo. It has been fixed.
That right there is crazy. So pretty much you can tell the election was rigged. I told you, if we really look at it, Kamala Harris been the one running the White House. Obviously, we can tell now that Joe Biden ain't been running anything. I mean, a man don't even know where he's at sometimes. So we already know, and that's been exposed already, that Kamala Harris been the one running everything. And they tried to force him to really stop people on Facebook from pretty much talking anything bad about them, which means they could have been the one rigged the election, because if that information got out there, Joe Biden more than likely probably would have never been elected as president. So you can say that the election was rigged and that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris stole the election by telling Mark Zuckerberg, which he got something to do with that. Because he should never did that. You up here, you deleting people pages. Anybody that talk about it, they get kicked off the platform, which means that he was trying to hide the truth, which means people couldn't tell the truth about what was really going on Facebook. Because if you said anything about Joe Biden or Kamala Harris about the laptop and all of this stuff, he will boot you off the program. You pretty much gone. He's going to delete your page. So, like I said, I still don't trust Mark Zuckerberg. I understand that he called and talked to Donald Trump, and all of a sudden he said since after Donald Trump got shot and stuff, the way he put his fist in the air, he supports him now. I'm not buying all that for Mark Zuckerberg, because he was sitting here pretty much working for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and they was telling him what to not allow on his platform. So they pretty much stole the election, but yet they want to always say Donald Trump did this or Donald Trump crying about this. That they always saying that. Now, Donald Trump has another talking point because Mark Zuckerberg has come out and say that Joe Biden, the Biden-Harris administration, was telling him not to let people talk about it on his platform. And he's just as guilty as Joe Biden because he went along with it. So, I mean, this right here is just wrong. This right here is wrong. I mean, this right here is just, I mean, it's crazy to be deleting people pages. And people couldn't talk about the laptop situation. They couldn't talk about anything that they felt like would hurt Joe Biden from running and getting elected. And Mark Zuckerberg pretty much helped Joe Biden get in the White House due to stopping people on his platform from being able to talk about the stuff that was going on. That is wrong, man.
We apologize for the mistake. Both companies have been under fire all week. Both say this was not deliberate.
So this was when they tried to censor images of President Trump after he had been shot, and iconic. I believe that government pressure is wrong, says Zuckerberg, and I regret that we were not more outspoken about it. Is this the Zuckerberg redemption arc, is what Charlie Kirk is asking. President Trump, again, is posting about this and saying, this is good. This is a good thing.
And then censor pictures after he got shot. I mean, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. Look at that. Biden-Harris administration pressured Facebook to censor Americans. Facebook censored Americans. Facebook throttled the Hunter Biden laptop story. They go to show you right there, Mark Zuckerberg just admitted to all three of those. So how is the word is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris going to defend it? What they going to do, call Mark Zuckerberg a liar? How is they going to defend it? That would have been Donald Trump that was telling them to pressure and censor Americans. They couldn't talk about this. If they do, kick them off your platform or delete their pages, whatever you got to do. They could not talk about it. That would have been Donald Trump. Oh, it'll be out. CNN, all of them be talking about that. I bet you CNN ain't got one video of Mark Zuckerberg exposing Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I bet you they ain't talking about that. MSNBC, they ain't going to talk about this. But if it was Donald Trump and Mark Zuckerberg came out and said something about Donald Trump doing this, oh, they'll be on it. They'll be talking about it. They'll be trying to get an interview with Mark Zuckerberg.
This letter was sent to the Judiciary Committee, and Mark Zuckerberg admitting that Biden-Harris pressured Facebook to censor Americans. Facebook censored Americans. Facebook throttled the Hunter Biden laptop story. This is a big win for free speech. That is correct. And, you know, I guess the follow-up question here is what Senator Mike Lee is asking. Who else wishes Zuckerberg regret had kicked in before the damage was done rather than years later? The damage was done. Millions of Americans lost their capacity to speak freely and to talk about COVID-19 and to talk about the election.
Then if you look at it, it said that the owner, Mark Zuckerberg, said he regrets working with the Biden and Harris administration to censor information online. Oh, my God, bro. So they was pretty much telling him what people can say and what they can't say about them. And like I said before, he get much as to blame too because he went along with it. And years later, now he wants to come out and say something about it after they pretty much stole the election. Because why? Because, you know, Facebook is a big platform. Everybody is on Facebook. Everybody is on Facebook. And they know people, millions of people is going to see it. So to stop a lot of people from seeing it, anybody talked about it, you will just delete their page and it seemed like it never exists. And that right there is where it helped Joe Biden them get elected because their information wasn't out there. It wasn't out there for people to see, to be like, oh, they doing this. Oh, no, I'm not voting for Joe Biden now. But that information wasn't there because Mark Zuckerberg wasn't allowing people to talk about it or post to say anything about it, or they was gone. He kicking them off his platform. So it was a rigged election.
Talk about the criminality of the Biden family, but it not happening again and it not happening again in 2020 at the same rate or at the same level is a W. It's a win. It's a win. It is a win. Massive Biden-Harris corruption scandal involving government attack on the First Amendment. We already know from the Twitter files that they did the same thing at Twitter. Further confirms the 2020 election was compromised. This is important acknowledgement from Mark Zuckerberg and Meta. Good for them. Trump saying this is proof it was rigged. Find the line, right? Find the line. This is exactly what the administration, Kamala administration, has done to our country. Censorship, This is from Alina Habba, one of our favorites.
Yeah, I remember I told y'all that Kamala Harris has a lot to do with this, because you got to look at it. She been the one running the White House the 3.5 years, because Joe Biden ain't been running nothing. They've been lying about Joe Biden's health. Joe Biden probably been like this entire time, and Kamala Harris been running the White House behind the scenes. She got something to do with this right here. She got everything to do with this right here. Look what Alina Habba just said. This is exactly what the administration, which includes Kamala, has done to our country. Censorship is where it happens in communist countries, not the republic. They have gagged my client. His lawyers are in and out of courtrooms, and his team. Now we once again have proof that they are gagging our media and censoring America. Kamala is hiding because she can't answer for her actions. Still have doubts. See, I mean, come on, man. Alina just exposing it. That's exactly what's going on.
Censorship happens in communist countries, not the republic. They have gagged my client, lawyers in and out of courtrooms and his team. Now we once again have proof that they are gagging the media and America. Kamala is hiding because you can't answer questions about this. Make America free again. I really like that. Make America healthy again. Make America free again. Zuckerberg says he regrets caving to White House pressure. I guess the final question that needs to be asked is, like, in what universe is it appropriate for the White House to defy the First Amendment of the Constitution, or any amendment of the Constitution? Like, how is that not impeachable offenses, right? Like, in what universe is it okay for the White House to censor? Here's the breaking news.
This morning, Meta chief Mark Zuckerberg admitting he bowed to pressure from the Biden administration to censor content. The Facebook founder issuing a letter to the House Judiciary Committee that said senior administration officials pushed the social media platform to censor posts about COVID-19 and expressed a lot of frustration when the company resisted. Zuckerberg saying, "I believe the government pressure was wrong, and I regret that we were not more outspoken about it." Adding, "I feel strongly that we should not compromise our content standards due to pressure from any administration in either direction, and we're ready to push back if something like this happens again." President Biden was asked about misinformation online in the summer of 2021.
On COVID misinformation, what's your message to platforms like Facebook?
They're killing people. I mean, look, the only pandemic we have is among the unvaccinated, and they're killing people.
Biden later walked back the comment, insisting he wasn't attacking Facebook. Overnight, the White House responded to Zuckerberg's letter. "Our position has been clear and consistent. We believe tech companies and other private actors should take into account the effects their actions have on the American people, while making independent choices about the information they present." Zuckerberg going on to express regret for demoting content related to corruption allegations against Hunter Biden ahead of the 2020 election, alleging the FBI warned information circulating online was a Russian disinformation operation. It's since been made clear that the reporting was not Russian disinformation, and in retrospect, we shouldn't have demoted the story. Zuckerberg went on to say the company has changed its policies and processes to make sure it doesn't happen again. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan celebrating the letter, calling it a big win for free speech.
Well, there you go right there, man. Like I said before, Mark Zuckerberg, man, I mean, he could have went to jail for some stuff like that, bro. You demoting stuff, didn't want nobody talking about the laptop situation, trying to say it was disinformation and censoring people, deleting their pages because they talking about it. That right there is just wrong, man. Something has to be done about this. But Jim Jordan says it's a big win for free speech, which is a good thing. But still, though, we see exactly what Kamala Harris is trying to do. We cannot put these folks back in the White House for 4 more years, especially dealing with crap like this. Because if they do it once, they'll try to do it again. And now it got to the fact now where this has been exposed. Now you see Kamala Harris, now they out paying celebrities and actors to go after black people they won't vote for. That's why you got Ricky Smiley. And Steve Harvey was big on supporting Donald Trump. Now all of a sudden he didn't got paid by Kamala Harris. Now he's talking about forget Trump, let's vote for Kamala Harris. Now they around paying actors and dancers and rappers and stuff. It is just crazy, man. Something has to be did about this, but y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.